I'm Chris from AutoAcademics, and this is the ultra compact 2013 Toyota Prius C. With a full model lineup of Pri now available from Toyota, the Prius C is the smallest entry-level version. Now, the Prius C is Toyota's most economical version of their hybrid cars. And as we take a look around the interior here, it's pretty evident where some of the cost-saving measures came from. So as we start off here, taking a look at the door panels, you can see that they are a hard plastic. The color combination is nice, but there are no soft touch finishes at all throughout there. The dash is very straightforward with black plastic trim pieces and blue trim accent marks. The steering wheel does have the typical buttons that you're used to finding on in cars today, such as these rubberized directional and volume buttons over here on the side. Then you also have the ability to control your temperature and display options on the right side there. Down below here, you have your voice activation button as well as your telephone buttons for hanging up and answering a call. Now when you first push the starter button, you'll see that a small information screen up on top there comes to life, giving you information about the car itself. Then you'll notice that the engine starts up as it begins to charge the battery. On the left side there, you have your speedometer. It also tells you what gear you're in and your fuel amount there on the left, your fuel gauge. And then on the right side, it gives you your typical warning lights over there. Down below, across the minimal dash, you will find the infotainment screen that gives you quite a bit of information, however, for such an entry-level car. As we turn it on, we'll turn the volume down here, you'll be able to see that it is very similar to the same system that is found in the other Toyotas, such as the Camry and cars like that. You have your car information here, which gives you information about what is happening with the powertrain. Currently it just shut down, but the engine was running. It was charging the electric motor, which was then sending juice into the battery. And so that's always neat information on a hybrid to see exactly what the powertrain is doing. We'll talk more about that in a second. Down below the touchscreen, we have our climate controls. You've got a large temperature adjustment knob here to go from cooler to warmer. We'll go ahead and turn that on so we can see that. You've got your AC button, off button, auto selection there, your fan, your modes for defroster and settings, your recirculating button, front defroster, and rear defogger there. Just to the right, we have our auxiliary port as well as our USB connection. Just to the left of the glove compartment, we have our 12-volt outlet. Now as we work our way down the center console, there's a nice cubby area there. We've got two large cup holders. You've got your gear selector, and then you work your way down next to the parking brake, and you have an eco mode as well as an EV mode. The eco mode just basically limits your throttle response to help you get better fuel economy, and then the EV mode, as long as you are at a slow enough speed, it will allow the car, or it'll at least attempt to keep the car in EV mode where it was running entirely off of the battery as opposed to the gas engine turning on. This car is equipped with a sunroof. And in back, the rear seats are large enough to accommodate car seats. Now, as I've mentioned many times before, I'm average height at best. And so if you're carrying passengers who might be a little bit on the taller side, you got to make sure that you're planning accordingly before taking long trips. The cargo area is large enough to accommodate your typical shopping trip, and that includes other large items as well. I'm going to attempt to show you what the display looks like as you're driving when the car is in battery mode, EV mode, and then once you give it more gas and it switches over to the actual gas engine to propel the front wheels. So what I'll do is I'm going to push the EV mode button, and then you'll notice up there on the right that the yellow EV mode light comes on, and right now we're just using battery power, and we're just going to be cruising through this parking lot on battery power alone. And so you might ask yourself, well, all right, when exactly is that used for, what have you? Oh, I hit excessive speed, EV mode deactivated. You can see now that the engine kicked in, and so it doesn't take much. It does not take much before that gas engine kicks in to propel the car, but that's because that was on demand. That's because that shows that when you actually need a lot of power, then it's going to give you the power that you need, which is available from the gas engine. When is that useful? When is battery mode or EV mode useful? If you're driving around in a parking lot or even in your community, you know, where you've got speeds that are typically below 25 miles per hour, you've got kids around, so you're going to be driving pretty slowly. Well, it makes it easy for the engine to cut down, and that's actual fuel savings that you can get each day as you go through each of those areas. When driving the Prius C in EV mode through city streets, with the engine off, the ride is actually pretty quiet. However, when driving on the highway, the wind noise can get pretty deafening. Make no mistake, the Prius C is pretty slow, but if 50 miles per gallon is your cup of tea, yeah, you're gonna like it. You may not be getting the level of refinement that you'd expect in the more expensive Toyotas and hybrids. However, you are getting a lot of hybrid for the low to mid $20,000 range. So there you have it, Toyota's entry-level hybrid, the Prius C. I'm Chris from AutoAcademics. Thanks for watching.